Yo, what is going on, you guys? It's your boy King Sanders here, and we are back with another day of sports betting. This is going to be for Friday, payday, June 24th slate of MLB action. I'm super excited to dive into it. Obviously, we do have a pretty full slate today. I can't remember the exact number of games. I just didn't really count them. But we do still have a pretty good slate. A lot of great games on that I'm really excited to keep in touch with while I'm at work. But without any further ado, before we dive into it, I did just want to go ahead and say that we are still currently on the road to 7,000 subscribers. So if you guys are new, make sure you guys do like, comment, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell so you guys know whenever I post. Next, I did just want to go ahead and give a quick shout out here to all of our members here on the channel. Thank you guys so much for everything that you guys do. And thank you guys so much for giving me such a small channel, such a big chance, as I always say. Truly does mean so much to me. So, without any further ado, let's go ahead and dive into it. We did have the NBA draft yesterday. I'm super excited about it. I think that overall, it was a great NBA draft. There was obviously some shocking things that have happened. There was like some picks that I was like, that I thought that they could have went in different directions. I am thinking about making a video about that. I had one of my friends, he sent me a Twitter DM about one of the tweets that I had put out, and he had asked me if I was going to do basically a draft recap and like my thoughts on the draft. And I am kind of thinking about it, but I do want some more opinions first before I do that. Obviously, I watch a lot of college basketball just to see who is going to be in the NBA next, and it is really fun to me. So if you guys do want my thoughts, I would probably go through like the first, I'd say probably 20 picks, and then have some honorable mentions of some of the guys that I thought fell a lot lower than they probably should have. So yeah, it was an absolutely great night though. I don't think that there was any horrendous picks, truly, and I'm probably one of the only people to say that, but I don't think that there was an absolutely terrible pick, if that makes sense. Like, obviously, never mind. I won't even get into it. It's just a lot. So anyway, without any further ado, let's go ahead and do a quick recap. But if you guys do want that video, feel free to comment it down below. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are on something like that. But let's go ahead and do a quick recap. We ended up going 1-1 yesterday. It was a very, very, kind of like a tough day overall. When it came to yesterday, we ended up going 1-1. Like I said, we did have the Rockies and the Marlins over 8.5. That one, both teams really just struggled until the end. I mean, there was like no runs at all throughout. I guess there was a total of 4 runs through 3 innings, and then only 1 run after that. So total of 5 runs. But the Mariners did end up getting it done for us. It was an absolute sweat. Oakland was up 1-0 all the way up until the top of the 9th, and then Seattle scored 2 runs to win it. It was absolutely crazy beat, but it did end up working out for us. So we ended up going 1-1 on the day. Now, I do have 2 plays. Oh, and I did have a lean that I was talking about yesterday. I was talking about how I thought that the Astros and the Yankees over 8.5 would have been a good one. They finished with like 13 runs. So I guess I should have just made it an official play, but I, didn't really have any stats to back it up. So I was like, I'm not going to do that. But yeah, without any further ado, let's go ahead and dive into today's plays. So, I was just talking about the Astros and the Yankees over 8.5 runs. We're taking their under today. So, we're going with we are going with the Astros and the Yankees under 8 runs at minus 115 odds. Now, I think that one of the main reasons why it was such a high-scoring game yesterday was because, obviously, these two teams are very, very solid against one another. But not only are not very solid against each other, but they're very solid MLB teams in general. Yesterday was their first matchup of the entire year, and the fact that they were going up against each other, I think, was as 2 of the top 5 teams in the entire MLB. I think that definitely had a factor to it. I think that they just got the bats going. They really did just get the bats going, and so the fact that they got 13 runs yesterday, and the line moved down from 8.5 to 8. And it's juiced to the under. Yeah, sign me up for the under. So that is just a little bit of line movement there. It just doesn't really make a whole lot of sense, so we're going with it. They scored 13 runs yesterday, and the Yankees ended up winning 7-6. So it was very close, very good game. But also, if we go into the stats about it, Houston is 26-12 to the under on the road, which is the best in the entire MLB to the under percentage. Also, following a loss, which, like I said, they did just lose to the Yankees, they are 16-8-1 to the under following a loss. So I think we see a ton of value there. Anytime that they do lose, they really buckle down and really love to take it to the next level. They love to not allow a lot of runs, and they love to go under. So hopefully that ends up working out for us. Also, for the Yankees are 20-17 to the under at home. So, they do go under more often than not. The Yankees have been a really good, solid team all year, but they do have a tendency to go under at home quite often. So I'm going to be riding with that. Also, Severino is going to be on the mound for the Yankees. He is 4-1 with a 3.27 ERA on the year, but he's even better at home. He has a 2.33 ERA at home and a 2.87 in ERA in his last 5. So if you throw out that bad game that he had, I believe it was against the Blue Jays, I believe. Other than that, he has been really, really solid pretty much all year long. I'm sure that 3.27 is pretty inflated. I think he had like a 9 versus the Blue Jays. But other than that, he's been really, really solid this year, and he's been fantastic at home. So hopefully he can get it done here for us. On the flip side of things, for the Astros, Justin Verlander is going to be on the mound, who obviously we all know Justin Verlander is a very, very good pitcher. He has an 8-3 record with a 2.3 ERA on the year and a 2.15 on the road. He is an absolute demon. If you guys did want to just go with a team prop, I do like the Yankees team total under, but I'm going with the under for the game. I think that it's just a very, very solid spot for it. So that's our first play of the day. Astros and the Yankees under 8 runs at -115 odds. Now for our second play of the day, I have not done one of these all year long. I have done a no-run first inning before, but today we're going with the Cubs and Cardinals, yes, to score a run in the first inning, a Yerfie at -120 odds. Now, the reason that I'm doing this is obviously these two teams are considered rivals against each other. I am from Central Illinois, so I do know a lot about the Cubs. The Cubs are first in first inning runs per game, and St. Louis really isn't too far behind them. They are in 7th in the entire MLB in runs per game. The Cubs also haven't scored a run in the first inning in 3 straight games. So, I mean, by the law of averages, they are bound to bounce back. So, the Cubs score the most runs in the first inning. Since they haven't scored any in the last 3, I think that they are due for one. Also, St. Louis averages 0.79 runs per game at home, and only 0.55 on the road. So obviously, since it is going to be in St. Louis, I think that it does give us a little bit more value there. Cubs also give up the 4th most runs per game, so their defense is really just not very good whatsoever. And St. Louis, they are a very good hitting team. They average the 5th most runs per game in the entire MLB, so I think we see a ton of value there. Also, Kyle Hendricks is going to be on the mound for the Cubs. He has not been good whatsoever. He has a 5.43 ERA and an 8.1 ERA in his last 5 games. He's been absolutely awful with a 1.35 whip. So Kyle Hendricks has not been it. There's just no doubt about it. I can't say that it's all his fault because his team's not very good, but Kyle Hendricks has definitely had an off year, and I think that is going to give us some value for such a good hitting St. Louis Cardinals team. Also, Polenta is going to be on the mound for the Cardinals. He does have a 1.69 ERA, which definitely would scare me off normally, but he has a 1.34 whip. So, and a 8.2 hits per 9. So basically, he does give up hits. He gives up walks, stuff like that. It's just his defense has been really, really solid to pick him up. So I think that is not going to happen once again. I think that this is going to be a situation where one of these two teams does mess up. I just don't know which one. So I'm going with, yes, there is going to be a run in the first inning. Cubs and Cardinals, Yerfie at -120 odds. So that is going to do it for today's video. If you guys did enjoy, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell so you guys know whenever I post. Like I said, we are on the road to 7,000 subscribers, so make sure that you guys are subbed. But that's going to do it for me. This is King Standard signing out. Peace.